The Vegan Campout Festival, which takes place every year in the UK, is under fire from within the animal rights movement. I'm doing this video in defence of the campout and to give my take on the current outrage about it, which is that this year it's being held at Stanford Hall, a venue that allows animal murdering activities such as shoots on the grounds. There are some inconsistencies here that I wish to point out, as well as to make my point as to how condemning the campout over this is actually counterproductive to veganism and animal rights. I also want to defend Jordan, the person behind the campout, due to how unfairly he's been treated over this issue, and indeed since the campout was set up in 2016. Throughout his time organising the campout, Jordan has been subjected to vicious rumours, threats, slander, and shockingly in one incident, even physical assault. To say that the hatred has gone too far would be an understatement. I hope that this video can at least go some way in helping people gain some perspective over this. So first, let's start with the main issue here, which is that Stanford Hall is a pro-animal abuse venue. As the campout has had to state several times now, any large outdoor space that you hire in the UK will in some way be involved with non-vegan activities in this non-vegan world. All sizable vegan events, including the various vegan festivals that take place yearly in the UK, will be held at venues, be they indoor or outdoor, that are involved with non-vegan activities. Hunting, shooting, horse riding, selling the flesh and secretions of murdered animals, you name it, it's unavoidable. Why then is specifically the campout the target of this vitriol when all other vegan events are doing exactly what the campout does and needs to do in order to even happen? As just one example of this, and I'm not doing this to single them out, V-Fest, which is touted by people as an alternative to the campout for those who wish to boycott the campout for whatever reason, was held at Dinton Pastures in 2021, which is a fishing venue. The V-Fest event for 2022, before it was cancelled, was set to go ahead at Temple Island Meadows, which is owned by a turkey farm. Where was the hatred for V-Fest by the very same people who are hating on the campout? Why is this touted as an alternative to go to for people who dislike the campout for such reasons, when they are doing the exact same thing, except holding it at a place owned by an actual farm is arguably worse? And this is just one business from a long list of vegan event businesses in the UK. As I say, I'm not here to single out or call out V-Fest. Most importantly, Stanford Hall, where the campout is being held, does not fund animal abuse activities as a result of the campout. Your ticket to the campout will not be used to harm animals in any way. Hunting and shooting groups pay Stanford Hall to do their murderous activities there. Stanford Hall does not pay them to shoot there. If campout was held on a literal farm, I could understand the controversy here, but it's not. It's simply held at a venue which allows the non-vegan population of the UK, aka 99% of people, to do their non-vegan activities here. So what does this tell us when people single out campout for this but ignore other events such as V-Fest? Well, what this tells us is that people are actively looking to find dirt on the campout. That's to say, whenever a campout date and venue is finalised, people actually look for ways to expose the campout. No one could know about the fact Stanford Hall allows shoots on its grounds by chance. Rather, people are actively looking this up in order to dish dirt on the campout and try to sully its reputation. When Viva, PETA, Mercy for Animals, V-Fest, Animal Equality, DXC and so on organise an event at an indoor or outdoor venue, no one Googles stuff about the venue to try to catch them out and dish dirt on them. People just buy a ticket and go, despite all these groups hosting events at places that will be used for non-vegan activities in some way. Again, why the hatred towards Jordan and the campout for doing what every group does? Why are people actively looking for issues to find with the campout? On top of all the controversy surrounding the venue, Jordan has been subject to a long list of vile and hurtful rumours over the years that are so slanderous I won't even repeat them here because I don't even want to give these lies the time of day. Jordan is one of my closest friends in the vegan movement, and you'd be hard pressed to find a person more undeserving of the hatred and vitriol. Jordan is kind, generous, anti-violent, and is the sort of person who hates and avoids any kind of confrontation. He's never set out to cancel anyone or tear any vegan businesses down, and what's happening at the moment is truly shameful. General criticisms of any business or event are fine within reason, but the level of toxicity, hatred, and slander directed his way amounts to bullying. It's not acceptable and it needs to stop. Remember that the things you do and say can impact people. What's more, I've come to know Jordan's family over the years, who also help with the running of this amazing festival, and you couldn't meet a nicer family. A fully vegan family at that. And when you direct this hatred towards Jordan, remember that it doesn't just affect him, it affects them too. People need to be careful to fact check before they spread nasty rumours about any person, business or event. Valid criticisms are fine and are needed in this world, but please remember that some randomer saying something on Facebook doesn't make it true. Fact check things before you go around spreading them. Jordan has done a magnificent job in creating a successful vegan event business ever since 2016, and people should celebrate that. Yet people take issue with this. Why is it that people are trying to tear down a vegan business? It bemuses me that vegans condemn vegans for buying certain products from non-vegan businesses and tell them to, quote unquote, support vegan businesses instead. Yet when people do just that and support the camp out, people condemn it for capitalism, among other things. It seems you just can't win. And what's more, some of the very people who have this issue will attend non-vegan festivals themselves. Make it make sense. It's absolutely fantastic for the animal rights movement that vegan camp out is so successful as a business idea, and Jordan deserves praise for this idea. Since its creation, the camp out has grown from a tiny piss up in a field in 2016 to a blossoming yearly major UK festival that has created a large number of vegans and, importantly, animal rights activists. I personally know and do activism with people who went vegan or became animal liberation activists because of the camp out and the amazing talks, workshops and other activities it hosts on a yearly basis. What's more, if you hold a vegan event at a venue which is used for non-vegan activities such as shoots, you help take up an event space there which could otherwise be used for non-vegan activities. The more vegan events held at Stanford Hall, the less of a chance a shoot has of going ahead there on the date they want. Tearing down the camp out is not only unfair on Jordan and the team behind it, it would actually slow the growth of veganism in the UK. For the first time, the UK has a yearly large vegan festival with tens of thousands of people attending from around the world, some of whom are non-vegan, and it's working. People are attending this festival and going vegan and getting active for the animals. To say it's an anti-vegan or anti-animal rights event simply because it's held, just like every other vegan event, on non-vegan grounds is counterproductive and wrong. Anyhow, everyone, thanks for hearing out my perspective on this. Please support the vegan camp out and get your tickets. And if it's not for you and it's not your kind of thing, don't go. That's totally fine. But please, let's just stop the rumours and the counterproductive accusations. On another note, I'm absolutely devastated to say that I'm not able to attend this year's camp out, but I know you will all have a fantastic weekend and make memories for a lifetime. And I will see you next year at the 2023 one. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video if you agree with my points. And if you have anything to add or you disagree with anything I've said, drop a comment below. Until next time.